Hello, this is J.N.S, and I want to cover this interesting topic of these outages for AT&T and Verizon and was it Cricket as well as T-Mobile and whatnot. And I want to forewarn anybody that listens to the playback or even that listens live is that this video will be very esoteric. This video is going to shed a light on um, some things regarding occult knowledge as well as it's going to be very dark because I have to speak to a very specific group of people that I do know uh, monitor my information and monitor the things that I talk about and teach about. So I would be speaking mainly to them. And so if you're just like a innocent human, just happen to come upon this video and you hear, what you would perceive as animosity or even anger, please know that it's not directed towards you at all in any capacity. And that I extend love and peace to uh, innocent humans, righteous humans, or just regular species that will listen to this. This video is for a very specific institution and very specific entity that I'll be talking to. And it's just for those who are listening, they'll get greater context in terms of some of the things that I talk about on this channel, some of the things that I've been forewarning about, prophesizing about, and just flat out trying to tell people from the rooftops of and so um I want to shed light on the AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile outage, and let's begin. I also want to tell you guys that I will be at the end of this video. I do have a message in which I will be speaking in a galactic language to very specific beings that I do know will understand it, including those that run this government, the highest levels of the government, not the president. That they would be able to understand what I would be saying. And so I'll be talking to those of the Atlantean dimension, Pleiadian, Avian, also those homunculus deities from the Sumerian and Babylonian uh, pantheon as well. There's very specific, this is a very specific video. I have been warning that this stuff would happen. And, I have been dealing with a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I have not even publicly talked about regarding what's been happening to me. Yes, I have told you about like in vague terms, attempted assassination attempts, occult rituals being done on me, secret societies fucking with me. I have said that publicly, but I've never gone into details. I've never released the files of and the recordings I haven't released that file publicly yet. I didn't do that because I had asked very specific power players to help. Um, I had asked for family for help, and things people turned a blind eye. People knew what was going on. They didn't care because they didn't want the the shrapnel to hit them in terms of what had been going on with me or what was being done to me rather. And so that's fine. I've made my peace with that. I'm still healing from it though. And so this video will allude to that. This video will very much can tell that that I'm still healing from it, and that I have my phases, my moments of pure equanimity where it doesn't affect me at all, where I have no care in the world, but to the point in which my pleas or my grievances have been ignored and where there is still concerted effort to fuck with me, that's when this anger will come out. This is where you would see the righteous indignation of my plea for justice in terms of the things that I'm going to share in this video. I have not, for sake of not being, there's this thing is when you speak the truth, the first thing that happens is the smear campaign and discrediting or attempts to try to either lock you up or to kill you. We all know that. Um, the new one is obviously subtle forms of targeted harassment, or blatant forms of targeted harassment that seeks to destabilize psychological faculties to the point in which you react, in which they react in a sense where they can have plausible deniability, and in which you would be questioned. This is the new thing. This actually not a new thing. It's been going on for 2,000 years, but that is the new thing for certain people instead of killing them, because they can't kill them. And so that has been going on with me. I have talked about, obviously MK Ultra programs and things of that, but it's much deeper. And it did end. A lot of stuff did end. A lot of stuff got a lot better, but then there is still, I guess, a private contract for hire. And you guys know I'm a spiritual intuitive, and people, I have, like, if I was to release all of the evidence and things that I had, there, people would clearly know, okay, this person, they clearly, there's something sinister about what's happening to her. There's something, and obviously, if you are an activist of any sort, whether you're an activist, scholar, and spiritualist, and I have all three because I was in the reparations space for some years. Then I am a scholar, wrote 18 books covering myriad of topics, from science to history to philosophy to spirituality to culture to women empowerment, you name it. Then I'm uncontrollable in terms of being a renegade. I'm not initiated into any orders, and I write on esoteric topics. I'm a spiritual intuitive and natural clairvoyance. Boom, you're on a list. Boom, you're targeted. And so I'm not one of those ones to manifest like, oh, these people are after me. Da, da, da. That's you also have to be very careful about that. And I've been very careful about that, making sure that, like, I'm not conjuring up scenarios or manifesting a scenario in which the perception controls my frequency, because perception controls your, if someone can control your perception, they can control your behavior, then they control your frequency. And so I've been very, very careful to monitor my perception in terms of making sure that what other people try to bring my way in terms of any sort of psyop, any sort of targeted harassment campaign, noise campaign, I've been sure to make sure I can block some of that, but to the point that I'm aware that they're doing it, that's when I have a problem. That's when I am going to get very angry, because I have sent out warnings. I've been sending out warnings since July. Actually, since July of 2022. Sent out another warning in July of 2023. Everything I've said has come to pass. What was going to happen with the telecommunications, with the radio communications, and the signals. I will play the clip of me saying that months ago. I would show tweets of me saying what was going to happen months ago. And so this event with the AT&T, the Verizon, the stuff, it doesn't shock me. It doesn't shock me, not one bit. These things are happening as a result of prophecy, but they're also happening because there's a change of guard in the power systems. And the old power system, the wicked power system that was able to steal very ancient knowledge, very powerful ancient knowledge of a certain bloodline, and be able to use that system against them, to where they ultimately enslave them, and ultimately even so much as able to time loop them and control even their memories. And so using that information, they had been able to rule for quite some time in a very unjust way. And you can look at the state of the planet and see that. You can look at the state of the planet and tell just for the fact that you have to work just to pay rent, and you have to work just to buy food and pay and get water and pay for electricity, and you have to work to live on a free planet, on planet Earth, and they're not even paying you good wages. And the fact that you have to there's a multiple things. There you can clearly the sexism, the racism, the state of this planet, the poverty on this planet, the injustices on this planet, where the few benefit and the rest toil. You can clearly tell that there is something severely wrong with on this planet, and that it's backwards, and that something's not right. And uh, that silos of consciousness is coming to an end. And so there's a new vanguard coming in. It's already being ushered in. It's already here. I've tried to tell you guys that in August 2022. And what's happening is that these people are not adhering to the warnings, and they're not adhering to the proper bloodline that is supposed to now take over. They are not adhering to the will of the interdimensional beings that have more power than them, that are sending shots, sending them warnings, telling them, look, these things have to change. This person has to be put in place. This agenda has to be ushered in. This agenda has to be ushered out. This needs to be more balanced out. There needs to be more peace. There needs to be more justice. There needs to be more freedom. There needs to be more balance. And so you had been warned first that there would be solar flares. I will show you me talking about this in August. Let me go here, see if I can go. Everybody wanted, my community abandoned me when I was trying to warn them about very powerful stuff. And they knew what was happening to me. I had been going through this with with the MK Ultra, the psychological program that they were trying to put me in for years. I just didn't know. I had woken up, and I had woken up to that fact in August of 2022. And I had been screaming from the rooftop of what had been going on, but I had also been given very specific insight from the primordial mother of what was taking place and what was going on in my personal life. And so I spoke about these things, and quite frankly was done very, very horrifically in terms of V2K technology, sonar wave beams, all types of stuff that was happening. And I couldn't really speak out about it because then people start to question, like, no, you're just making that up. But there's thousands of people, thousands. I can show you evidence of thousands of people talking about this stuff, that same thing that's been happening to them. These are all people from a similar bloodline. It does not even matter your race. And it's been happening in America. You go on Quora, you can go on Reddit, and it's a bunch of people talking the same stuff, like, yo, what's going on with, we tend to be on a different frequency. And I suppose the government knows about this. And so the government knows about this, and they have this program in which those who have operated at a certain frequency, they pretty much put you in a monarch program, or it's not, it could be a monarch program, but it's also something else more sinister, where they hire private for contract groups, hire private for contract, as well as military and even intelligence agencies. They will put you on a list, and they will pretty much use the people around you and other groups that also seek to benefit off of doing the bidding of whatever the final goal of that the government has for you, whether that be being locked up, institutionalized, or dead. and they do that to where it's a big psyop. It's a huge psyop that they run, and they use occult power and occult knowledge to carry it out. And they have people with certain clearances. These are usually people in secret societies that that carry out, the this agenda. And then sometimes it's not a person from a secret society, but they're in something like Citizens Corps, a community watch group, or they are part of like these fusion centers that also are involved in the monitoring of innocent citizens that have potential to be threatening to the system, or the potential to influence, or they are talking too much about very powerful knowledge that they don't want the average human to have access to. And so that's when the campaign will start. It started with me very young. Mine was due to bloodline, but again, as I got older, it ramped up because I started writing books about esoteric knowledge, occult knowledge, scientific knowledge. I started talking about activism stuff for Black Americans. Boom, that's another thing. That's another thing that they go after people for. And then I've naturally had spiritual gifts due to my bloodline. Also, my family has links to military and secret societies. Now, it was obvious with the military, you can't really deny that one. Now, I had to uncover this esoterically as a clairvoyant. As a clairvoyant, I was shown through a big Akashic records of what was being done to me and who was involved in it, because I obviously was able to get some of my family members to be involved in on this, as well as people that you would think would, other people in the Black reparation space. And obviously, when you bring this stuff to people's attention, the first thing is plausible deniability. You deny. This is what the first thing they are told, and you are told to gaslight, and make that person sound crazy, right? And so, with me though, it was so evident, it was so obvious that I had been getting some severe channelings from God, like that this was real, that the occult is real. For one, the occult is real. The spiritual world is very real. Spiritual world is very real, and the things and many of these texts that they talk about are also real. Obviously, the Book of Enoch, Enochian magic, the Babylonian and Sumerian texts, Rig Veda, all these things, they have some truth in them. You don't have to believe, you don't. I'm not pushing religion on anybody. I'm just saying, like, these things have its place. And it became very evident that I knew things that I shouldn't have known, or that I couldn't have known, unless that the spiritual world was real, unless clairvoyance is real. And so eventually, through a series of talking with 3 different family members, and I'm not going to say who those family members were, but everybody was lying and saying, at first everybody was deny. But however, through a series of isolating these family members over a period of 9 months and sparsing information from each one of them, it became evident that, okay, they admitted chunks and pieces of things that I saw in the spiritual realm individually. One told me that when I was talking about when people was trying to play on my top and make it seem like I just, oh, she's having her moment or whatever. One of them admitted that one family member told them that they did work for the CIA. Boom. That was what I saw in the spiritual realm. Confirmation on that. I asked one family member, I said, "Are you a Mason? Are you in a secret society?" They denied it. I go to another family member separately. Mind you, they hadn't talked in years, but they know they're very close, right? I go to them, ask them. They admit that the family member that lied and said that they weren't, the other family member told me that the other one was. Boom. Second confirmation of what I saw in the spiritual realm. One, that same family member told me, it was like, yeah, they a Mason. Your grandfather was too, and he is, and blah blah. But he just told me he wasn't. So what's going on, right? Third confirmation. When shit got really real, went to the point where I was literally in a quantum entanglement session talking to that family member. They knew, and I know I scared them to their core, their soul. And I know that everything I do is surveillance. I know that the government has copies of these phone calls and these recordings and probably still studying these recordings. And I didn't think to record it because I was such in a when you're in the quantum entanglement session, the last thing you think of is grabbing. You're in a spiritual, you're in an intuitive mode. You're not thinking of let me go and record so I can have some evidence. Like that's not the mode I was thinking in. I wish I was because, I took a lot of hits. I'm taking a lot of hits in terms of my reputation and publicly because of me speaking about these things. And it is what it is, but I know I'll be vindicated. I know that for a fact. I'm already starting to get vindicated, but I know for a fact that I'll be vindicated. So I'm not worried about it. But nonetheless, during the quantum entanglement session with me talking with that last family member, the same family member that denied being in a secret society, he got so scared when I was telling him all this stuff that I knew. Like it was a quantum entanglement session of me being able to read the Akashic records and being read to galactic knowledge. Like I literally was on the phone with him, like, and I started running him down. And he admitted, he said, you know what? You're right. I am in a order. He said, I am in a secret society. I am. And he was like, his voice was shaking. And he said, he was like, but I walked away. I left it. I walked away. And I said, again, mind you, I'm in a quantum entanglement session. So that means you're connecting with your higher self and you're connecting with your oversoul and your octaves in quantum superpositioning position, parallel universes. And I told him, I said, we have to tell the humans what the hell is really going on. We have to tell the humans what's going on. And he says, it was like panic. Like it was like a panic. And he says, we can't do that. We have to have, it's not time for that. We can't do that right now. I mean, but he was still trying to make it seem, he was like, he was on my side. Like, yeah, we'll tell them when the time is right. Da, da, da. And I said, well, we have to tell them. And I said, I've been seeing some stuff and da, da, da. And do you know, he literally threatened to, he subliminally threatened to kill me. This was a family member. Now, if I told you like who the family member actually in the ways that they are, in which they are related to me, you would be shocked. But he pretty much said, I see when he was trying, it was very subliminal because what they do is they talk in a code where everything is a code with those of that society. And so they're not going to just outright say something on the phone that's going to incriminate them, right? But he said, I see a man walking with a cross. I see we'll do like like what happened with Yeshua. You talking too much, let it go. And I'm like, what the hell going on? And then but me and as the lower octave, as just Jenny, I obviously kind of was still confused, but my higher self knew exactly what that meant. Because again, I'm in a quantum entanglement session, so I'm able to see all types of stuff galactically, from the future, from the past, all types of stuff. I was able to see like 1,000 years into this man's life, himself, his past lives. And I remember I had called him one day. This was another time, and I called him and I said, I'm able to see 1,000. He was like, oh shit. Oh. Like I remember him like, whoa. And then just hurried back off the phone. I told y'all this story about how like every time I would bring certain information up to this individual, they would just bang on me. They would just be, they would just hang up. And I didn't know at this time. I'm just curious collie, I was just doing genealogy. I was just simply doing genealogy. But when that happened, so pretty much I had got the confirmation. One of the person that denied that they worked for the CIA, another family member told me that they worked for the CIA. The person that denied that that the other family member was in a secret society, another family member confirmed that they were. Mind you, they didn't know I was all doing this. They didn't know I was parsing information from all three of these individuals. Lastly, when I had brought to my attention that I was aware that they was trying to sacrifice me, obviously one individual said, you just forgive us. But another person, so another family member that also alluded to one of my other family members working in the CIA, they literally said, it was like, it was so many people in on that. So many people in on that. That's when I realized, like, the people that was gaslighting me, trying to call me crazy, several of my friends, that's when I realized that they were in on it too, because this person literally admitted there was so many people in on that. I said, I know what y'all try to do to me. And she literally admitted, she said, there was so many people in on that. And they were scared. Then that's when stuff started to happen astrally. All the phone calls, you know what I mean? We stopped talking on the phone because all this stuff was happening on the phone. After that, that's when everything just occurred astrally. And that's when they went ham. I ain't gonna hold you. They went ham on me because I guess they figured, okay, she know way too much. She done put the whole story together. She done put everything together, and they I ain't gonna hold you. They went ham on me with whatever the DEWs they got, whatever DEWs they got, whatever radiation, microwave stuff, technologies they got. I don't know what kind of shit they had. Oh, they went in. They went in. And then obviously the various programs that they enact, I guess the CIA got some stuff, man. They got some shit. They ain't got more shit than the Atlanteans. They ain't got more shit than the GIA, but they got some shit. Oh, and they was tagging me. And then obviously the occult stuff. Because a lot of this stuff is occult. We're dealing with electromagnetism and radio signals and radio signals and telecommunications. That's all wavelengths. It's nothing but frequencies. It's nothing but frequency. And so when you tag someone, even through the occult, you can affect their you can affect their electromagnetic grid just literally based through sound frequency. This is what all this stuff is. And so David Icke was trying to tell the public. He was trying to tell the public, like, yo, the highest levels of the CIA is ran by interdimensional beings. It's ran astrally. It's ran by the fourth dimension. It's ran by the fourth, fifth dimension. The highest levels of those that run that system cannot get past the 20th dimension. I've already checked. Like, I've told them that publicly. So that's why I'm saying this stuff. Most of the stuff I had through my quantum entanglement blurted out all publicly anyway. So nothing that I'm saying is stuff that they don't know, right? It's nothing that they don't know. So me talking about this stuff, I don't. And you say, oh my gosh, you're not scared. You're talking too much. I don't care. And so they can't get past the highest levels, cannot get past the 20th dimension. This is the dimension that even those with their top security clearances don't even have access to. And so whatever happened with them knowing with me finding out everything and parsing everything and grilling everybody. And I'm telling you, I went to a family member 3 days before that all happened and had told him, I said, yo, I had a visitation from Kalima, and this is the information that she gave me. And I had a visitation from Yeshua. I said, this is the information they gave me. We putting these charts together about we putting, it was just got real. It got real. Then I was on the phone with a government operative that same week, and they were asking me about military science, and we were talking. It got real. Shit got real. And but I went to that family member, was showing them all this information. And I was showing them the codes and certain gospel songs and stuff. I'm telling you, and I started showing them gematria. Showing them the gematria of my name and my stuff. And it's like the blood just rushed from their face in the panic. And they ran and got up on the computer and just typed something. And I'm looking like, what the hell? And I didn't know what I had did. I had knew in my soul that something wasn't right. And I just was like, nah, because this is your family. You're not going to think nothing like that. If it's your motherfucking family, that's the last thing you're thinking, that they in on something that's, sinister. It's the last thing you're going to think. And no lie, that's when all that stuff started to happen. That's when it really got real. Like when after that had happened, that's when the harassment campaign started. That's when I called the other family member, and that's when I went off on them and started letting them know I know and that's when they admitted to being in the order. And they did give me, I ain't gonna because I still feel like he did tip me off enough throughout the year to let me know what was going on when nobody else helped. And so He is under protection. Um, he can protect himself. That's how powerful he is. He is a master mason. Like this dude. I mean, we talking about some of the codes and stuff that he can send and some of the things that he can do. He might have. This is bloodline. This is a bloodline of us that have been able to do this for thousands and thousands of years. And what they have been doing is though getting many Black Americans and getting people in general to that don't know who they are to uh join these type of societies and join in exchange for whatever, but you end up downplaying your power. You don't need it, pretty much. You don't need it. And so and they ask you to do things that are against natural order, that are against uh the wills of the universe, and then you end up having regret and whatnot. And so in these orders, but nonetheless, I had figured out what was going on, and it angered me. It really, 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 really angered me. And so let me go here. I'm looking for something. It really angered me to know that what was happening. And so I had been privy on some information that was going to happen to this planet as a result of not just what happened to me, but as a result of what had been going on in general. And one of them was solar flares and being able to shift and manage and control the telecommunications and the radio signals and the satellites. That was one of the things that I knew that them solar flares was going. Obviously, everybody knows that the solar flares are going to affect that. But who's causing the solar flares? That is coming from very specific interdimensional uh, beings. They are the ones that are messing with the telecommunications and the satellites and whatnot. And so I had saw that in August in terms of what was going to happen. And again, they were warned. They were warned to stop messing with certain people, certain bloodlines, and certain people. They were warned to stop their campaign against a very specific entity that is a part of a very specific bloodline. And they did not listen. They didn't listen. And all this is tied, believe it or not. It's like, well, how does that tie to you talking about what happened to you in July and in August of August 22 and July of 2022, 23? In August 2022, in that clip, I was speaking in a certain language to those beings because I had knew what was going on with me. They had been given warnings. I tried to tell my community. They kind of just laughed it off or whatever. They thought, whatever, she's having a moment. Then I had got locked up by our government. Very illegally, very illegal things was done to me, to my rights, violations of my rights because of this information that I had knew. I was let out and it was all good or whatever. And then I started getting these bouts as a clairvoyant of quantum entanglement into where I was able to see things. And so when I started to, once again, thinking I can go to my family and friends and just talk to them about these things, but they were in on the surveillance and they were pretty much in, they were reporting whatever I was telling them to, I guess, these powers that be, that the contract for hire, whoever they're working for. I mean, put this shit together, put this stuff together. But one of the things that I had saw in those quantum entanglement sessions was things like this: outages of the telecommunications, the exposure in the fall of Hollywood, the fall of the fall of the CIA, the fall of the FBI, the fall of certain things. I'm able to see these things. These things will happen. And so I was just telling these people that's why it relates, because all this stuff started happening around this same time, around July of 2023, solar flares started to come. Everything that I had been prophesizing all came true. And so I'm giving you that context and that backdrop because once again, when it comes to the AT&T and to the Verizon and its T-Mobile outage, I was given, we knew that was going to happen yesterday. That's all I say. We knew that was going to happen yesterday. We know who did it. And it is not, I don't care what they tell you about, oh, cyber attack from Russia, from China. No, no, no. They know who did it. Very much so. As a matter of fact, I had been trying to tell you guys right here. Let me show you. And again, no, not since this stuff is so small, it doesn't, like, as far as my channel and stuff, I don't feel like it's a big deal to talk about this stuff because very few people, as one of family friends had literally told me, nobody watches that stuff. They have it shadow banned to where most people are not going to find this information, my information, except for those at the top that has to monitor this stuff and a couple of secret societies. Other than that, the average human cannot understand most of the stuff that I be talking about. Some can, and thank God for that, and bless you forevermore, forever, ever, evermore. So here 2 months ago, you hear me, this is a video about why we have solar flares in 2024 predictions, elections plus disclosure of 10 interdimensional beings. Here's another video that I did 3 months ago. Planetary shifts, original fallen angel goals, royal intergalactic mentalism, channeling and ascension. This is me giving a prequel to how planet Earth fell into and what was the plans and what was going to be taking place on this planet here. So there's prophecy in this video. There's prophecy in this video why we have solar flares plus 2024 predictions. Here we went in 3 hours of me just talking about what's going to happen for the year 2024. Here I go even more about these interdimensional beings. Now we know, and here I talk about how those interdimensional beings, this video right here, matter of fact, I'll put it because I'll play it, the clip of me talking about it, how they will shut off the telecommunications and the radio signals and how it's nothing for them to do it. Now this was published 3 months ago of me saying that they were going to do this. And so that's why it all relates. That's why I'm giving you that backdrop, because I'm speaking in the code. So those who can get it, they'll pick up on it. They'll pick up on exactly what I'm saying, why it's being done, and who did it, and how they did it. They'll pick it up. Still trying to look because they have tried to tell you guys, I'm trying to get my videos, because I was on Twitter and I was posting like how solely after that had happened with me, all this stuff started to come out about, you know, the chief Pentagon, the chief of the Pentagon resigning, and the testifying at the Congress about these interdimensional beings, about the warnings of, you know, and yes, they're trying to play it down, like make it kid-like, so where people would think it's just a fake alien invasion, or they'll think it's a psychological operation. And it's not so much an alien invasion because they had always been here. So it's not that, but at the same time, they're trying to play it down in terms of the seriousness of it. And so those of us of a certain vibration, we can pick up on it, and we know that it's a lot deeper than what they're telling us. That we know. And it is. The thing is, I was shown all this stuff through the quantum entanglement sessions from July. And the one that I told you, I told my family how they were, and then that's when those beings showed me that they were trying to sacrifice me again. and what was going on, and who was doing it, and how it was being done, and how people were betraying me, and how people were were in my face, but pretty much was plotting on literally to kill me. And so that's why I'm giving you that context and showing you, more than just, just trying to bridge the lens here, because for those who can even get access to even find me and to even be able to listen to this, they will know from a stream of thought, especially for those who really, 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 really study. There's people who are very secretive, and they are watching stuff that I put out, whether that be on Twitter or on YouTube, and they're putting things together. And they're real, like there's people behind the scenes that, I believe everything that you're saying now. They didn't have my back when all that shit was going down. I was literally abandoned by pretty much everyone. Every family member that I asked for help, nobody helped. Every friend that I'd asked for help, nobody helped. And so I had to rely on others, not even others, but literally the spiritual realm for help. I had to rely on galactic family, and I had to rely on God. That was pretty much it. I had zero hope, zero, from those from the immediate family, from immediate and extended, biological and adopted, it didn't matter. Nobody was there. They all, in fact, wanted me to go to a hotel. Mind you, different family members was trying to get me to go to a specific hotel at a specific time. And they wanted to pay for it, and they did not want me to pick my own hotel or the time. What was it? What was at that hotel? Family members that don't know each other, because I have an adopted family and I have a biological family, and they don't speak with each other. But yet and still, and even friends that don't know my biological family or my adopted family. So how did a friend that's not even in, why did they want me to go to that hotel? Sounds like human trafficking. Sounds like they were trying to do something. I had been tipped off to not. Whew. And then when I was, and I know they have records of all these phone calls. I know they do. I know the government do. When I was talking with the family members, and doing my intelligence and recognizance on what was going on, they would get so they just was, you could tell that they whole little thing was blown up, and that I knew what was going on, and they just hung up. Every single last one of them just would get they would freak out and get scared, and just they were like, oh, let's you got it, I'll call and I'll book your hotel for you, and I'm like, what the hell? And then once I started grilling, asking questions, as an adjutant that I am, I kept saying I was a chief commander, I was a chief architect for a reason. People laughed that off. It doesn't matter. I know who I am in the spiritual realm. I know exactly who I am in the spiritual realm. It is the humans. It is the 3D, 4D, 5D humans that don't have a clue of what's going on, and maybe they do, and maybe it's just a plausible deniability psyop that they run once they get caught doing some sherm shit. Nonetheless, they all freaked out and hung up. Then I go and have conversation with a family member for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and I can't even. We're not ready for that. Now that I'm not gonna say. I don't gave a lot. I don't gave a hell of a lot, and with that part, y'all not ready for that. It's like some things is just like, whew. But pretty much when I say it, I know that it was people in that black reparation space that was in on trying to off me and assassinate me with for the government, as well as even my own family. And when that didn't work, they ran the PSYOP targeted harassment campaign that they do on innocent citizens. It's so many that talks about sonar wave beams, DEWs, V2K. And yes, people do sound like, okay, are you sure that's really happening? No, that can't be happening. No, our government. Come on, the CIA admitted that they have the ability to astral project, astral viewing. The Army, the Department of Defense. This stuff is already published. Anybody can look it up. It's real. Also, they admitted that they do have sound weapons, and weapons that with the heart attack gun, with the frequency of the heart attack that make you feel like, oh, that's the oh that oh I'm telling you, they went to town on my black ass. Oh, they went to town, and but we went to town as well. Okay, we went to town as well. Oh, but they put me through the ringer, boy, and I don't care who believes it. Those who know, y'all know, because it was so many people plotting. Man, I couldn't believe that shit. Seeing all that in the spiritual realm like that, I'm like, damn. And that's when I had to wake up into who I am. And oh yeah, you better believe the sound off on them telecommunications and on these satellites. You better believe that we talking about spiritual warfare. A lot of people don't think that spiritual warfare could affect your telecommunications and your satellites when you get into a occult war with someone, or a spiritual war. That's not true. That's the first thing that's going to be affected, because it's all electromagnetism. And there were people that know what happened to me. I have text messages in my phone of somebody that of literally the person, some of these sinister ass niggas that I'm telling you about, that literally they said, we knew what was happening. We didn't give a fuck. We knew what was being done to you, and nobody cared. How about that? We didn't care. We didn't care. And I guess they wanted me to. That was very cruel to say. It was very cruel. But I guess the reason for saying it like that was for them to let me know, well, at that point, I think that they really, really did think what they had was going to effectively off me, unalive me. Like that was what they had was going to work. And so it didn't matter in terms of sending that kind of text message, because I was not going to be here to tell the tale anyways. Right. That's the only thing I could think of why they would send something like that. Also, operatives, and I haven't said these people's name. I haven't said nobody's name, but operatives admitting, very powerful operatives that have very, very powerful connections to states, and they're government operatives, that was telling me about, okay, we do know that these family bloodlines, the 13 bloodlines, that they know that their time is up. And he told me, he literally told me, he said, their time is up, and they know it, and they don't want to leave. And he was literally telling me, like, as this is a message from them, like I'm speaking on behalf of them to you, that, oh, they willing to go to war. This is what he said. He said, oh, they willing to go to war with us. They just want you to know that they willing to go to war. They not stepping down. And mind you, he knew that I must have been in a quantum entanglement session in terms of the as far as that whole, how that works, because I had no fear, for one. And I literally said back, oh, just so y'all know, we have no problem taking off this planet. Planets die all the time throughout the universe and get recycled. Stars die, comets, asteroids, everything can get recycled. Are we not playing when we say, we changing this vanguard? Are we changing we giving this back to the bloodline that is owed to? I didn't say all that part. I didn't say that part, but I did say, oh, just so y'all know, planets die like it's nothing. It gets recycled and go into another dimension, and the silos of consciousness will split. This doesn't, as much as sinister as this may sound to humans in terms of, oh, that means we're all going to die. Oh my gosh. If you're at a high level, good and hell well that nothing, when we say die, death, that just means a transition, a transitory phase to a new dimension. That's all death means. So you may think, oh, that means that we're all going to, no, no. That means that you're going to transition into another dimension. And what I'm saying is it's a higher dimension for those that inherit it. For those that will inherit it, I'll say that. I'll just say that. For those that will inherit it. But that's what I meant when I said planets die. 3D dies is essentially what I meant in terms of ushering in the new paradigm of the new Earth. That is not just a 4D, 5D Earth. It is a continuum of frequency that you can ascend and descend from. And so, yes, it will start at 5D, but it will not just be a 5D Earth. You will have 6D beings here, 7D beings here, even in human flesh, even as humans. They will be able to get to 10D, 20D, 30, whatever it is, and it could still be in physical flesh or go in and out at will. That is the new setup here. When we talk about this age of the Christ consciousness and the age of divine feminine. This was supposed to be ushered in 2,000 years ago, but they took out the being that was sent to usher it in, and and they were able to usurp another 2,000 years of rulership. That was with Yeshua, obviously, with the age of the divine feminine. Now, when we talk about the age of the divine feminine, we're talking about the reverse polarization of using it for low governing force and using it for Christ consciousness, or using it for the age of this intergalactic mentalism, this age of Hecca. This is what we're in the age of now, with the age of Aquarius, so to speak. The return of the great matriarch through a very specific vibration and frequency that is of enlightenment, the true morning star energy. True morning star energy. Not the fake one, not the low governing force one that operates off of feasting off of human sacrifice and abuse and fear and trauma. Not that. Okay? That was the old Earth. That was what we had been trying to get rid of on this planet for the last 2,000 years. Not for anybody else's sake, for our own sake. This is a bloodline. Like, many of you, even if you don't remember your past lives, maybe you don't have any past lives. Maybe you came straight from your star system straight to this planet. That's fine. But for those of us that even have part of our bloodline that knows what's going on, and that knows that they couldn't necessarily leave. Some of these bloodlines that are even operate in octaves. They have been stuck here for for quite a while. Okay, and so they were tired. Okay, so I won't get too much into that because that's a little bit too deep. It's way too deep, so I won't get into that. But nonetheless, what you see is the warning shots of very powerful interdimensional beings. They had been warned that this was going to happen. And they had been warned to stop, to literally stop effing with their chaos intelligence beings. They had been warned to stop doing that. And I think that they just didn't care. Again, they had literally said, we were willing to go to war. And again, when we talk about, this is a royal bloodlines fighting at the highest level through the occult. The bloodlines of Yeshua, the bloodlines of Lucifer, the bloodlines of Satan. Satan and Lucifer are two different beings. The bloodlines, the royal bloodlines of even some of the African descendants. The royal bloodlines of, obviously, now we get into the star systems. Now we get into Sirius A, Sirius B, Sirius C, the Atlanteans. It goes deep. And obviously the bloodlines of some of the Sumerian and Babylonians. Not everything. Now, when we talk about royal bloodlines or even bloodlines, that doesn't mean that everyone is in human flesh. Okay. This is spiritual warfare, very much spiritual warfare. Humans want to deny that. Humans want to be in a sandbox and have blinders over their head and bury their head in the sand and act like they don't know what the hell is going on. And I don't know. They want to bury their head and let all the other people take the hits. This is November 29th, 2023. I was talking about the solar storms and the GPS blackouts, and this is obviously affecting communication, radio, and telecommunications. I was talking about the difference between government and governance, the 12 laws of the universe. Here's the document from the CIA talking about human consciousness is not a part of our body at all. It's stored in our brain, not as a part of it. Our consciousness. This is the document talking about the astral projection and remote viewing. CIA.gov is literally right there. And I told y'all the story about how this document, before this got released to the public, how I had access to this document. And so we have been trying to tell y'all. I don't care what I say. I'm not trying to talk over people's heads or trying to insert whatever. I'm just telling it how it is. I can only, and I've been dumbing it down as much as possible. I don't know what else y'all want. And then what the thing is, the organized inorganic ones, the bloodlines, these satanic bloodlines, they have the ability to, they still own, they obviously they have the YouTube platforms and all of these platforms that they have the media. They do control media still. And so it's nothing for them to blackball or to blacklist or to shadow ban those of us of the other bloodline that have been pretty much for millennia. We've been deemed at that we're the ones that they've been siphoning energy from so that they can stay in power. We are the ones. And the thing is, some of us are activated and some of us are like, no, we are back for what's mine. No. And some of us have we have awakened our galactic family. We have wakened up our righteous ancestors. We have come with a lot of power and backing spiritually. We just don't have any resources. Like we don't have any, we have been deemed as like these living sacrifices or sacrificial lambs by those families so that they can siphon off of our energy. And they cannot do that anymore. They know they cannot do that anymore. They damn sure can't do it with me. Hell no. But they have been doing this to the Black American lineage. And some of our Black lineage, American lineage have been helping them do it to us. Let's be real. Some of them have sold us out. Oh, I know for a fact they have. Because I know the people that was in on what they was trying to do to me. They were Black American. And so they some of them have totally chose their side and chose that side and given up some serious inheritance because they thought that side, they had the material stuff. They had the material items. They got access. They got what they perceive to be power. It's just an illusion. This is an illusory world. This is nothing but Maya. Instead of sticking with our side, they turned on us. They sold us out. They were going to help the government kill us and whatnot. Now, I do know that there are people in the government that have been trying to protect me or have been trying to help me, have had to, based on some of the things that I've been able to say. Also, the things that I've been able to get through. Now or if it hasn't been them at all, and they all have been in on it, then damn, God is something else. But I would surmise, I think intuitively there have been, and I've been told this years ago, and I just ignored it because again, people have been trying to wake me up, and I just was doing my own little world. Um, but I had been told years ago in 2016, that based on what had happened when I was a child and being a ward of the state, being in a foster care system and whatnot, and the story I was telling very intricately to the person that had already suspected. They walked up to me, we talked, and then she asked me, she said, "Were you ever in the foster care system? Were you ever a ward of the state? Were you ever?" Because she said, because I pretty much always talk about esoteric stuff. This is a lifestyle for me. I've always been a mystic. I've always been very, very deep. Um, it's just my nature. Always, always, always. Very, very, very much a serious person. You know, generally speaking, in my private life. So when people do talk to me, you're usually always talking about deep stuff, and I don't have much friends for that reason, because it's hard to find like-minded souls out there. But she said it's people. She said it straight out her mouth. We were at a mountain with no cell phones, and she said it's people in the she said it's people in the government that are trying to save your life. They're trying to help you. And I said, what is she talking about? Like I'm telling you, like all this stuff was weird to me in 2016. It was. I ain't gonna hold you. It freaked me out. It freaked me out. And she said they trying to save your life. Somebody is trying to, because she said it's no way the stuff and that's when she was trying. This is when in 2016, this is when she tried to tell me about shit like this right here that you see, November 12th, 2023, of me talking about the interdimensional beings. Pentagon UF chief resigns after warning recent sightings could be foreign powers or aliens. That's when she was trying to show me of these different types of beings that's on this planet, and not just the ones we all know, not just the Greys and the Anunnaki and not just the ones that we always talk about, the Pleiadians and Lemurians. No, she was telling me about some whole other shit. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was like, what? I was like, it was just too much, and she was trying to, I'm showing me all this stuff, and then she had this Hebrew book with showing me some stuff with something with conjure, and I'm just looking like this is too much, my nigga. Like it was just like, whoa. And everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. Everything just make perfect sense now. Then a friend of the family. This was somebody I know since I was 11 years old. This is my best friend's mother. I was 11 years old. In August of 2022, the week before I was screaming about the tribe of Judah. She tells me some things. She tells me some things about myself and about what was going to happen, and about. She also, she was telling me some things, but again, these people are all in on it. But she did let me know who I was. And she was very much aware of who I was. In that, she did say though, she did give me a threat and warn me. It was a threat. If you ever go out and tell the public what you know, or if you ever go and talking about what you know, what are we going to do to you? What are we going to say? What can we do to you? And I said, oh shit. And it was very clear. Um, she said, we said, well, you're crazy. That's what we'll do. We'll lock you up, you know, if you put them in safe. But she said, other than that, you good to go. Now, things wasn't good to go because I went again. It was compartmentalized where there were certain family members that still wanted to go through with what they wanted to do, and then there was others that kind of backed off. That was like, nah. Mm-mm. I think she was one of the ones that wanted to back off, but then there's a reward that you get if you can effectively help rid the government of certain targets, right? There's a reward that you would get, even so some of your family members don't have a problem selling your ass out. Let me be very clear. Some of your family members will not have it, and that's what I was dealing with. It was some of the family members that was like, we got to go through with this, and then it was some that wasn't. And so I think with her, I think she was having second thoughts. I think she was just going back and forth, but because she tried to get me again. This happened multiple times, but motherfuckers trying to get me to go to a hotel at a certain time, at a certain, because she was like, why don't you just leave those altars? Because because she kept saying, she said, you dealing with some heavy, heavy, heavy spirit. She said, you gotta keep working on your craft because you dealing, some. And she's like, why don't you just leave those altars in the house? And why don't you just go to a hotel for the night? Why don't you just go to a hotel for the day and get out and no lie, I don't know who somebody had to been monitoring the phone calls or something or whatever she said, because no lie, and y'all never believe this, and I'm still trying to figure out if the other person that tipped me off is on my side or against me. No lie, he literally puts in his video the day after this conversation, and he used certain codes to where I knew he was talking to me specifically by even saying my dad's name, saying the state that I'm from, speaking in codes using the same title as my video. He was literally like tipping me off, like, if somebody tries to get you to go to a certain place at a certain time, that is a setup. Do not listen. Do not go. Now, it's something about the person that said it. We have to have some sort of very specific brain entrainment and deep, deep spiritual connection, because I knew that he was referring to that conversation. He put so much code. These people speak in code. These are very powerful warlocks, very powerful wizards, and they speak in code, and they know how to get a message to your ass without ever saying your name or without. And if you were to ever talk about it publicly, then your ass can just, it's plausible deniability. You just sound crazy, like, oh, you just. But this person said my dad's name, used the same title that I used in my video, used my same talking points, used said the state that I was from, and threw that in there, that if someone tries to get you, calls you and tries to get you to show up to a certain place at a certain time, try to get you out of the house at a certain place at a certain time to go somewhere else, it's a setup. Don't go. Right after literally after that conversation with that lady. And I ain't gonna hold you. I did take that advice. I didn't go. I didn't do what they, and I didn't do what they with that quote unquote friend. Uh, this was like a family friend. This was my best friend's mother. Uh, that's when they ramped it up. They used a very specific occult ritual on me. Very specific occult ritual. This is a ritual that's usually used in Obia, but I suspect that that secret society has access to that ritual as well. Or they may have did a different spin on it. It's a satanic ritual. It's a very dark, 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 horrific ritual. I won't wish it on nobody. Soon after, I would say a couple days after that phone call, that had happened in August of 2022. And this is where you use the V2K. This is when you send spirits. You send spirits after, you send demons out or spirits out to attack some person. to cause a death or to cause to make them go crazy, to make them have a psychotic break. This is what happens in the occult world. It happens. If you don't have no protection, then you can really be out the game, and nobody would know what happened to you. They just think you're off yourself, or they'll just think you went nuts or whatever, and nobody would question it because stupid humans don't pay attention to what the hell is going on. They don't understand spiritual warfare. But the rest, those that be in the know, they'll know what happened to you. They'll know. And everybody would keep it quiet and keep it moving. Nobody would care. And that's exactly what was going to happen to me in August of 2022. And then after that had happened with that phone call with that lady and that guy putting that in that code for me, that's when Arishka Gal visited my ass. That's when Arishka Gal came. That's when Kali. That's when I told y'all the story in that last video. But I was telling y'all the stories about how it worked out with my ancestors, and I'm saying that you're in spiritual warfare. They coming for you. They coming for you. And that's when all that stuff popped off. And I couldn't handle all that. We talk about a whole organization coming after one person, doing a whole organization doing a death ritual on one person at the behest of the government in a secret society. That's very hard to fight off as one person. But God. As God. And so I was able to get through that. And this was in August of 2022. And yes, I know people want me to shut up about it, ignore it. Just please don't go talking about this stuff. Please let it go. Please let it go. I didn't ask for none of that shit. I didn't ask for none of this. Situation happened in July of 2023. I go through quantum entanglement sessions. I'm getting access to the Akashic records. I'm seeing all of this information that's about to pop off. Mysterious radio signals reaches Earth at the 8 billion years, mind-blowing. I posted this up in August 20th of 2023. I told in July 2023 that stuff like this was happening. That radio signals, I was getting these radio signals from different dimensions. In July of 2023, I put that out publicly. Yahoo News decides to mysterious radio signal, and just on October 20th, they just now talking about this stuff. Shit that I had already been putting out. So I was not crazy. I was not just imagining shit. This shit is real. And so the pulse was so powerful that in under a millisecond, this radio signal is released as much energy as the sun emits over 30 years for a very large telescope. I was feeling this stuff in July. This just, and this is how I was getting information. And this is how the Atlantean, I ain't gonna go too deep. But it's real shit. It's real shit. And so who do you think is behind the disruption of your AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile? Use your motherfucking head. And I know I sound angry talking about this stuff is because I didn't, this was a rabbit hole that I didn't want to go down. My only thing, you guys know, the only thing that I was damn talking about was Black American reparations. You know, I get a little bit into the spiritual stuff. I had some videos about Kali Ma. Matter of fact, let's just look. This was the stuff that I was, when I first came out, I was talking about Black American shit. Black women gloating, goddess not to be mocked, conversation with Black Americans, mass shooting in my whole time in Buffalo, New York. That was a occult ritual done, obviously. Woman forced to walk home. Like, I wasn't talking about, you know, like, this was a rabbit hole. I didn't ask for this shit. Queen mothership. I always talk about the queen mothership. Now, you know, I'm always talking about the divine feminine queen mothership because that's what God really put me on this planet for. It's a queen mothership. Watch and learn the difference between strategy and technique. Conversation with Black Americans. Conversation with Black Americans, part 1, part 2, part 3. Literally anti-genocide framework for Black Americans. Now, this was my first occult video. Who is the goddess Kali, the dark feminine, death? And that was one. The law of gender. That's kind of a spiritual video too. That's based on the book that I wrote. But pretty much you see the stuff I was interested in. Hold the line, Black Americans, queen mothership tenets. And that's when all this stuff started popping off. Conversation with Black Americans, part 4. I was still talking about the alchemy reservoir of Black Americans and whatnot. But after that situation had happened, I released this video trying to tell you guys what happened. Conversation with Black Americans Part 4, I gave a little bit. I didn't give no names, and I kept it real secret. But my rights was violated. Like, I know I had a case and a lawsuit against what happened to me because these people were trying to kill me, and it just didn't work. You go to the hospital and they put you in a restricted access area, and it's 100 doctors standing in a circle surrounding you, like doing some little chants and shit. Come on. Come on. And then they asking to take pictures of you because they don't understand how the fuck you not dead. They understand. They looking like, whoa, 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 what the hell going on here? Whoa, whoa, whoa. How do you have these? How is there no blood? How is it like? I'm not getting into details of everything, but this shit is so real. And so I didn't ask for none of this. I'm not trying. There is no glory or nothing in talking about these things. Clearly, there is nothing. What do I get out of talking about this dark ass, deep ass shit? This shit, it landed on my doorstep. Okay, and so that's when I tried to get more back into like talking about the Black American stuff. I did the Revolutionary series, as you can see, talking about Francis Wilson, Korean Gaines, Thomas Sankara. I did talk about like how Black Americans would gain self-rulership and self-determination. This video was highly, highly shadow banned. The 12 dimensions of consciousness. So I was, and then I started to get more into like affirmations and whatnot. And then that's when I started. This was also my turning point. This is when the shit got real again. When I wrote this book and released this book, the Entrusted Melanism Framework, that's when shit got real again for me and popped off with the quantum entanglement, with the assassination attempts, and with all of the stuff again, with these people coming after me and lying to my face and trying to set me up, and then trying to make it seem like I just don't know what I'm talking about, that type of shit. And then people admitting to know. And then that's when I again, I took several months to get do my own little recognizance, to get other family members to one family member saying, oh yeah, such as so-and-so told me they worked for the CIA. Hmm? And I go and ask that person and they say, no, I didn't say that. No. I asked one family member, are you a Mason? Are you in a secret society? No. I go to another family member. It's such and such in a secret society. Oh yeah, they're Mason. Yeah, we been knew that. They came in Mason at 22 years old. Why the fuck did you lie to me and tell me that you weren't? I go to one family member. Oh, yeah, I think such and such trying to sacrifice me. Oh yeah, that's what they do. What? What? Yeah, that's yeah, he is psychopath, and that's how they get down. And so do that too. And I'm looking like, what? Oh, then when it actually happens and it fails, I go and say, oh, I know what y'all tried to do to me. I'm able to see this, and God told me this. Then you finally admit, oh yeah, I'm in a secret society, but I walked away. Then I go to the other person. I say, yeah, I know what y'all tried to do to me. I ain't fucking with y'all no more. Oh, it was so many people involved in that. There's a lot of people involved in that. You're damn right. It was a lot of people involved in it. Friends, family, motherfuckers that was in my face. And so I'm pissed. I'm very pissed. I'm healing. I will grow from it. I have grown from it quite considerably. But I know I didn't deserve that. And I also know that you can't do that to a chaos intelligence being. I don't know who sent these people on a dummy mission to even do that to me. We're talking about, and I've had that person I told y'all that asked me to go to that hotel, whatever. She told me, she said, oh, this is who you are, and we know. And they didn't even want to, she was like, I can't even tell you the full extent of who you are, because if I told you, it will make, you wouldn't even believe it, and your brain couldn't handle it. Your brain wouldn't be able to handle it. So then I go to one of my family members. I said, yo, so-and-so is telling me da-da-da-da-da. And she got pissed. She was so angry. Ooh, she was so angry. She said she was not supposed to tell you that. We already know. You was not supposed to know that yet, or you weren't supposed to know that. And she just was pissed. She's like, she was just mad. She was not supposed to know that. But she did admit, she said, yeah, you are the morning star. Yeah. But the thing is, they some of these people were willing to sell me out for a bag. And they were going to help them 13 families try to get they was willing to sell out our bloodline, our powerful bloodline, or they had already, some of them had already sold out the bloodline, and some of them already sold us the fuck out. But they were willing, like, okay, somebody come to you and ask. The thing is, this is how it works. This is how the system works. Once you cut the deals and make the deals or take the oaths and take the pass with the system, when they come to you and ask you to go and sacrifice someone else, you have then people do it. You have no choice but to do it, or else they coming for you. And so that was also revealed to me in a spiritual realm, that some of that was a case of that. And so when it came, when I was on the docket, it was like, whoa, what in the world? And um many didn't want to go through with it. Many had felt like they had no choice. Many didn't care. Many just wanted the money or wanted the reward to move up in the ranks, to siphon off of the energy and to move up in the ranks of whatever the secret society has or whatever they do. And there were people involved in it that I know who were involved in it. Some of influence, some of not, some just my family, you know? And so me knowing who I am as an octave, I don't care what people say. Yeah, them tweets are all deleted now. Them tweets are all deleted now. I did send them. I did send them to certain people and tell them to screenshot it though. I sent a couple of people, about 20 to 50 people. I can't remember offhand, because I was in a quantum entanglement session. I wrote some things out, sent it to them, and said, take screenshots of this. And then I took screenshots, and then the posts were deleted and the screenshots were removed from my computer. The information is too heavy, and I surmise that they don't want that stuff getting out to the public yet. And so there we have it. There we have it. And then that's when you see me switch and start to talk about more of the spiritual stuff, because that is what has been revealed to me. But when it comes to this AT&T, they have been warned. You have the chief UFO. You have the chief of the Pentagon of the UFO team resigning. And you have other workers for the Pentagon giving testimony to Congress about what's going on with these interdimensional beings. They had been warned to stop messing with their galactic family, with beings from the chaos intelligence realm and from the Atlantean dimension. They had been warned. These people would not. They won't listen. I knew yesterday that something was going to pop off with them radio. I want to say, yeah, it was about 2 days ago. Yesterday, I just knew. I'm like, I knew. I thought this was going to happen yesterday, but the day before yesterday, I knew for a fact that something was going to happen with our radio communications and telecommunications and stuff with the signals. I knew for a fact that it was going to pop off. I didn't know when or what it would entail, because it was shown to me. I'm a clairvoyant, so I know that it's interdimensional. It was not, it was a cyber attack, all right, but it wasn't from like another country. It wasn't from another country. And yeah, they're going to blame it on the solar flare. That's the best answer to give to the public, the solar flare. But who's causing the solar flares? Who's causing the solar flares? What's causing the solar flares? Why are there radio signals coming from 8 billion light years away on this planet. Again, there's things that has been happening to me behind the scenes that I don't talk about. I pretty much I've been cool. I've just been moving on, trying to move past my life, but these people been still fucking with me. And that's what angers me. Because I'm like, I'm a peaceful creature, a peaceful being, and I pretty much just want to live my life and do my thing. And I feel like I have a right to that. I have a God-given right to that. But to the point where these idiots keep going on their dummy missions at the behest of who the contract for hire, Citizen Corps, and the fusion centers, as well as the intelligence agencies, is to that point where they are offering up this reward, I guess, for whoever can get me to, whoever could, because I won't play ball. I won't take a deal. I won't take an oath. I don't want nothing to do with that. I can't. The change of Vanguard is happening, and the proper heirs to that system the proper heirs to run this system cannot get involved in that shit. We can't. That goes for Black Americans too. That's why you think they running out here so hard with this reparation stuff so bad, and these freedmans literally on a recorded space. They're probably going to delete the space now that I'm talking about it. And I hope somebody go back and get this space. Literally talking about that we have the right to enter contracts with the government. The same person that knew what was happening to me and was in on it. Why are y'all trying to get Black Americans to enter contracts? I kept telling y'all what a contract was. Y'all keep playing on these Black women's tops and trying to make it seem like we crazy. And we try to tell you that there was entities attached to them contracts and this high level hecka magic to that soul binding. We already told y'all assholes that. If y'all don't want to listen and make it seem like why are y'all talking about our reparation space and then talking about the right to enter a contract in a reparation space? What the fuck are you talking about? And it happens to be the same people that I know have ties to occult societies and secret societies. The same person that was talking about this, that I know for a fact has ties to that shit, has ties to what I'm talking about, and that knew what was happening to me. That's why you don't really see me all on Twitter spaces all like that. I don't fuck with that stuff because I already know what it's about. It's a psyop, and it's good people in it still. It's good people in it, but they on some other type shit that's way above the average Black American's pay grade. And I've tried to come out and warn y'all, and y'all fed me to the wolves because y'all thought that y'all was going to be able to ride off into the sunset off of siphoning my energy. So y'all had no problem making me a sacrifice. Hell no. I'm not doing that for nobody. I'm letting it be known now. I'm letting it know now. And I'm not going to be dealing with y'all motherfuckers in these, with the noise campaigns that y'all try to run, the targeted harassment campaigns y'all try to run, with the psyop stuff. I'm letting y'all know that too. I told y'all who I was an octave of. Nobody has to believe me. I don't care. I know exactly who I am and the power I possess. And I said those things for a reason. Yeah, I'm not about to be running noise campaigns. Here, this is what I want to talk to the CIA and the Pentagon. You have, because I already know y'all monitor everything on my computers. Y'all monitor everything. But y'all better had been looking at that damn Google Drive folder, specifically of all of the cases that have been submitted to Airbnb and the evidence in those folders. That's what y'all need to be studying, because it's about to pop off. Because I said I just want peace. I'm a very introvert, quiet motherfucker. I'm very peaceful. I pretty much mind my business. Y'all all in my shit. I'm not all in y'all shit. I mind my business. It's not my fault. My frequency. It's not my fault. I am of the bloodline that I'm of the bloodline, and I am who I am. I am that I am. That's not my fault. Y'all all in my shit. But since you all surveillance in 24/7 anyways, your motherfuckers better be looking at that folder of the Airbnb support cases from September 1st to now, and all of the evidence, and parsing together what the hell is going on. If you guys haven't already done it, if you guys don't even already know about it. Or are you the institution that ordered it? Are you the ones that's behind it? And if you are, okay. If you are, after I asked for you guys to take care of that, then may the best man win. Because the GIA, it's what's happening is done. It's already done. I know you guys cannot travel to the future yet, but I'm telling you, this shit is already playing out the way it's played out. I've waved the white flag in August of 2022 and offered anybody out of the CIA, anybody out of the Pentagon, out of the FBI who actually helps me instead of tries to kill me, of how they would be spared by the GIA and by the other forces that are now on this planet. And many did take them up on that offer. They've had to. Some of them did. But stuff is still happening. Stuff is still going on. Is motherfuckers still trying to run noise campaigns and sound and psychological operation shit. I still feel that going. And so these things are going to continue to happen. I don't mean no harm to anybody. To no one, to no being, to no person, to no species, to no animal, to no plant, nothing. I seek peace and love. But when I'm fucked with for no reason, then all bets are off. You got your people in Tennessee, and in New York, and now in Georgia. They're everywhere. We already know that. But your people in Tennessee, they ran a target. They was doing some real sherm shit to me out in Tennessee. That's why Tennessee has never been the same since I left. Never. All types of crazy shit been happening in Tennessee since I had left. Because of what they did to me. Shit's went crazy in New York, and it's still about to go crazy. And now we got another state pulling the same shit. The higher beings that's running the CIA, maybe at the lower levels, y'all don't know what's going on. And that's fine. But I'm telling y'all, call it off. Call it off. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't care how much I try to do plausible deniability, discredit, whatever classified files y'all got, or whatever. It's 75 years from now, y'all start finally releasing stuff. Somebody asked for a file on colleague J.N.S. Like, can we actually see what kind of file y'all had on her? Let's actually do request of information. Let's actually, I know 75 years, maybe 50 years from now, somebody would do it. Somebody's like, I want to do a request of information on that lady that was up on YouTube talking to. I read her book and she's talking about, I want to know some information. And maybe they'll deny it, but I'm giving permission to grant that shit because I know y'all got a heap of shit on me. That ain't about what went down with with this interdimensional shit, with this quantum entanglement stuff, with this interdimensional stuff, with the, obviously with the reparation space, with the occult ritual stuff that I was dealing with this MK Ultra stuff, with the satanic ritual abuse I was dealing with. I know that y'all have. I know y'all have records of that. They can deny, deny, deny. This is what they do: deny, deny, deny. Then 75 years from now or 50 years from now, then they admit the truth. This is what y'all always do. But I gave y'all the warning in August 2020. So I said, whoever helped me, I promise you will be spared. Some took that on that offer, some didn't. July 2023, it happens again. Y'all went full scorch earth on my ass because y'all figured there got to be a way to take this person out. It got to be a way. It's no way that this person is who they really saying they are. And I went through hell. And y'all really try to break me. Like, y'all really try to kill me and take everything. And that could have, and if y'all saying it wasn't us, it was the secret. It was one of y'all motherfuckers. It was the CIA or it was the Masons, or both. The stuff that y'all was doing, the stuff that I witnessed and saw, and the stuff that was happening to me. Y'all was literally trying to, y'all was going in to giving y'all best, throwing y'all best that y'all had, the best DEW that you had, the best weapons that y'all could formulate, the best occult. We talking about through the occult because we all know how this stuff really works. And what is the rule down here? What you cannot do. You can do everything but do what? You can do anything but do what? And so y'all did anything but that, according to the programs and the of the laws that y'all have. And so we buzzed back. And it stopped for the most part. But you have a few idiots, very jealous, archon possessed people. Get your people. That's all I'm saying. Get your people. Reel your people in. Check what's going on. Go through the documents of the recordings. I already know y'all don't went through all them recordings. Or all the stuff is being intercepted by y'all departments anyways. Either way, it's still going on. And I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate the weird ass noise campaigns and all this stuff. To keep, it's to mess with somebody. It's to prevent their ascension. This is what y'all do. I'm not the only American that's complaining about this shit. It's thousands and thousands of Americans that's talking about this stuff. I'm just a different case because it's a different, y'all fucked with the wrong bloodline. And now you're realizing, like, yo, this is real. Like, this is somebody this stuff she's talking about with the chaos intelligence realm and the Atlantean dimension and all this stuff about these bloodlines of the Sephardic Moors and the Hebrews and this Black American lineage stuff. Yeah, this shit is real. This shit is dead as real. And there is a change of vanguard coming to America, obviously to the whole world. But I'm only speaking from where my location is at, or perceived location rather. But I can only talk about what's going on here. This stuff is popping off in Africa too. It's stuff that's popping off in Europe. It's popping off globally. It's a global phenomenon. This is definitely global. But my frame of reference in terms of the vanguard, of the change of vanguard of in that motherfucking White House, and then even in the structures of the government, that's what I'm talking about. I don't mean no harm to America at all. I wouldn't hurt my country, and I wouldn't hurt this world. So y'all don't have to worry about, like, I guess y'all think I'm a threat to Homeland Security or whatever. I'm not. I don't do shit. Y'all know I don't do shit. I literally, you see me writing a book all day, watching a movie, eating 2 meals, exercise, and reading. That's literally, y'all don't see me. And I only do like a couple of minutes, like 40 minutes of exercise. I don't do shit. Then I just sit in my chair and work on my computer. I live the most boring ass life. Boring life. I mean, in my mind, I listen to music. Now I get it popping with music. I get it popping with music or whatnot, but I don't be doing shit. So why is y'all running a 24/7 surveillance noise campaign on me? Because y'all trying to prevent my ascension. Y'all fuck with the right. Y'all fuck with the right one. Y'all did this to millions of people and got away with it. I'm telling you, I was a straw that broke the camera's back. I'm not some regular ass. No, and you're not gonna be able to do it. The other people wasn't regular. The other people, they didn't deserve it either. Nobody deserves this type of shit that y'all pulling. Nobody deserves it. But you fucked with a chaos intelligence being. You fuck with the bloodline of Yeshua. You fuck with the bloodline by proxy of the real morning star. It's an octave of the morning star. An octave. And a daughter of the primordial mother. That got hit. That's an octave of Kalima. I don't care if you believe it or not. The occult is real. This stuff is spiritual warfare is real. Interdimensional travel is real. Galactic travel is real. The Galactic Federation, all that stuff is real. I don't know what's wrong with you humans. I don't know why you're still burying your head in the sand. It is like, what the hell is going on with you? It's all real. And the ancient ones are real. Those bloodline families are real. This war that's going on is real. Not the fake wars that the Ukraine, all that shit. That's fake. I'm talking about like, no, these bloodlines fighting it out. And it's done through spiritual warfare. This is the same shit that you can read in the book of Psalms with King David. The same stuff that you can read with Jeremiah and Nebuchadnezzar, Nehemiah. This is the same stuff with Ezekiel, talking about spacecrafts and interdimensional beings. This is the same shit. It's nothing new. You can go look at the Sumerian text, Babylonian text. It's the same stuff. You can go look at the Bhagavad Gita, the Rig Veda, talking about these interdimensional beings, talking about these prophecies. And so we're in a shift. We're in an age that is changing. I don't care how much I try to blacklist and blackball me. This shit, every time I speak on the ether, is going to go out throughout the whole galaxy. That's how this is nothing but a wave signal. That's what the internet is. It's not just being broadcasted in America. You can't block this. Because even just speaking out, it wouldn't matter. There's satellites all over the place. Even if you did try to block it out, or you shadow ban it on YouTube, make sure nobody can see it on Twitter and all this stuff. Plus, not to mention all of the humans that secretly got telepathy and can remote view and don't say shit. They can still hear me. They use their molecular electricity from their ears to magnify my voice at any time at will. Yes, there are humans that can do that on this planet. So it doesn't matter. The truth is going to get out there. The truth is going to get out there, and a primordial mother is going to push those of us chosen ones who y'all try to sacrifice, who y'all try to bury and siphon our energy off of. We're going to get pushed to the forefront, and y'all are going down. And when you give people their opportunities to redeem themselves, and their defiance and in their jealousy and in their fear, they can't let other people, they won't let that happen. And so they'll continue with their nonsense. And so we're going to keep sending them warning shots. We're going to keep sending warning shots. Send y'all warning shots about the damn solar flares. Send y'all warning shots about all types of earthquakes, all this stuff I've already seen. I've already seen the future. And I know. You cannot attack the primordial mother. You cannot attack the chief architect. You cannot attack the morning star. I don't know why. I don't understand, y'all mother. I don't understand what y'all doing. You cannot attack the morning star. You can't try to sacrifice them. You can't try to steal their birthrights, snatch their energy. I asked y'all niggas for help. I asked my people for help. Nobody helped. That's fine. Then they all try to come back once they realize, oh shit, what's going on? Everybody want to swarm around again. No, 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 no. Come around again. I asked the CIA and the FBI to look into what was going on with me in terms of what was happening with this whole situation, and gave out a big ass warning to the beings that run y'all, that y'all have to answer to. And if you haven't realized, somewhere, somehow, I'm being protected. Somewhere, somehow, some way, I am being protected. You guys know this. Why don't y'all, why have that hatred for me? I don't understand that. Like y'all, it's like y'all pick certain bloodlines and it's like, oh, we gotta go after, we gotta try to steal their power. We gotta try to ride off of them. We gotta try to, y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna do that to me. I'm letting y'all know that now. And I'm not the only person y'all try to do it to. And I'm not the only person that survived it. I'm not. So I'm not trying to put myself on no pedestal. But when I say that I am, and I know that this is bigger than what any of you guys could ever imagine, as to why y'all wondering why. And again, y'all could try to do the plausible deniability. No, we ain't try to. If I release that damn folder, what happens when I release all them phone calls to the banks and of the bank calls and of them freezing my accounts and of all the illegal shit that was going on? What happens when I do that? What happens when I release all the emails to the public? What happens? Is that then what? Even if it doesn't, from years from now, somebody somewhere, some way, gonna know that, okay, that lady, that's her story was true. Like that's some real deep ass shit, man. So fix it. I'm not. I don't want to go nowhere else in this motherfucking country and have to deal with a noise campaign, a gang stalking, a targeted harassment, and illegal interactions with my fucking bank accounts. With none of that shit, I don't want to hear a peep from these archon infested ass humans. Control your automatons or your whatever. Control your people, man. Get your people. Get your people. I'm free to do anything that I want to do on this planet. Yeah, I've already done some weirdo ass, way illegal shit to me. Locking me out, trying to, lock me out of self-sustenance and self-determination and being able to just do simple livelihood things. Yeah, I've tried. Yeah, I have tried. Try to order for try to order groceries. You do stuff to lock the cards and fucking with the bank, making up whole ass lies. Y'all got literally caught in lies. Like I literally have the evidence of this stuff. Literally caught in lies. Caught in whole ass lies. What to what end? What's the end game? Because here's the thing. Even if something was to happen to me, right? Let's say, okay, Kylie J.N.S, she actually, we succeeded in killing her. What the fuck do you think is going to happen to you? For one, we never die. It's again, we're you guys know for a fact that me in this human flesh, I'm literally only operating at 10% of my power. And then y'all seen and admitted yourself to how powerful I am. I'm literally only operating at 10, not even a quarter. I don't even know everything. I don't even know most of nothing. I'm not initiating nothing. I just go off of, if I have to defend myself, then it's like I have to defend myself. But what happens if I'm actually on that other side and activate the oversoul in all octaves? I am aware of my octaves in my oversoul, but what happens when we actually on that other side? I'm letting you know now. I'm letting this public know now. If anything ever happens to me, you better mark the date that it happens. For one, I want cremation. No resuscitation. I don't want no coffin, none of that. I don't want nobody. I don't fuck with none of you humans, so I don't even need a funeral. Just do cremation and keep it moving. Um, but from that date that it happened, you better believe that some crazy, horrific stuff will happen to everybody that was involved in it, and to this whole country and to this whole planet. Like you guys would not see the end of it. How insane how real this gonna get, how real it's gonna pop off. Some of you guys have already seen that when you tried to do something and y'all was running, scrambling, running. I know y'all got a case file on that. I didn't have no recorder to know. I was minding my business. I couldn't record it. But we know what happened in that park, Shoshone Park in Buffalo, New York. They came for me. Again, this is all, and I know y'all was running out that motherfucking park. And so I'm letting it be known now. From the day that anything motherfucking happened to me, and I'm talking if it's natural causes, something like that, and a natural cause, I'm talking pure natural causes, not no occult ritual, not no death spell, not no occult spell where they try to make it seem like I'm talking about. I'm not suicidal at all. I'm not depressed. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I do not drink. I do not do any drugs. I don't do none of that shit. I did drink in the past, sure, in the past, but not now. It's been over a year now, so you can't use that. So from the date, I'm just letting the public know, get this on the motherfucking record. From the day that anything happened for me, you will see this earth crack in half for one. Mudslides of the likes you've never seen. Hurricanes, tsunamis, and tornadoes all in one, in multiple spaces, simultaneously at the same time. All types of your electromagnetic, all of your shit would be fucked up. All your radio telecommunications. You think this little stuff with AT&T and T-Mobile and all that stuff was something? Now we did that. That was done by the Atlantean dimension in the chaos intelligence room, and that happened. That was literally that was literally just a thought. Like, okay, I'm not playing because I don't do nothing to nobody. I didn't deserve none of that shit that ever happened to me. I didn't deserve none of the lies, none of the deception, none of these weirdo ass fuckers, none of these weirdo ass satanic ass occultists and niggas in these secrets. I didn't deserve none of that, none of these people to come after me. I was minding my business, just being a free spirit on planet Earth. I didn't deserve none of that. All I know is I'm here to usher in the age of the motherfucking divine feminine and the age of the primordial mother in Christ consciousness. That's an octave of Yeshua and Kali Ma. That's all I know. As Jenny Nunn Stanley. Pen name, my author name is Kali J.N.S. My spiritual octave is a chief architect, chief commander. That's all I know. I ain't mean no harm to nobody. Y'all came for me, and I have to defend myself the best way I know how. Luckily, as a chief architect, we have an arsenal. There's a plethora of things that we know that have not even been revealed to this planet of defense. I give out information to humanity freely. I've been a lover of humanity. I've been good to people. I've been good to my people, Black Americans. And the first thing that they can think to do was to help the government set me up so that they can get a bag out of it. Was to sacrifice me so they can get a come up. It's sick. It's disgusting. And then everybody play dumb and act like they don't know. We all gonna play dumb around here. What happened? What happened to your satellites? Oh, why did you have an outage? Why did you have 9 earthquakes in a span of 5 hours in California? Oh, I don't know. Who did? What's going on? What's going on? Why is your shit crumbling in Hollywood? Why is the whole system crumbling? Why is there glitches all in the matrix? Why? is all this shit popping off? I don't know. Who could have done it? I don't know. Hmm. Hmm. That's where we at with it. Everybody got plausible deniability around this bitch. Everybody got plausible deniability. And I guess that's how we have to do it. Again, this is all spiritual anyways. I'll just say I was a clairvoyant. I'm a clairvoyant and I can see things in the astral realm. That's all I'm gonna say. What can anybody do? What can anybody do? I want to share this video of me talking about how this stuff could happen. The warning threat to US has something to do with outer space. So they trying to let y'all asses know. I just shared y'all stuff about the signals from the 8 billion light years away, from radio signals, that undetectable forces cutting off the communicate. Let's actually play it. Let me play. I was talking about it right here 3 months ago. Let's go back here and let's play. I think this is playing. Oh, is it playing at 1.5? Let me play at the normal speed. I listen to everything at like 1.25 and 1.5 because my brain is so fast that I can't stuff be too slow, and so I always speed a lot of things up. Let's listen to it at the normal speed. And then you have your melanin, you have your dark energy, and you have your consciousness, and the consciousness is what makes it intelligent. The consciousness is like a system, and I'm gonna make a chart on it. I'm gonna make a whole graph for you guys on this chaos intelligence stuff because I've been seeing what it looks like in my mind, and so the consciousness is what orders it. The melanin is also this essence of high level self awareness, but it does a lot of more than that. It does a lot of conducting. It also regulates radiation. It regulates radiation in the universe, believe it or not. Also regulate, you guys know melanin shields your ability against radiation, even on planet Earth. Um, and also because, we've always dealt with satellites and electromagnetism, electronics. So melanin also deals with shielding abilities against electronics and satellites. That's why, like, a lot of times, the universe will shut your satellites off like it's nothing. Like the chaos intelligence, the primordial mother, like they just released a one of them articles. I think I put it up somewhere where they was talking about, oh, the Earth satellites are being all shut off by an unknown force, and we don't know what force is doing it. It's the primordial mother. That is melanin. Melanin these are conductor intelligences, and you want to see it as an aggregate or whatever. You want to see it as a transducer, a big ass transducer, a big ass supercomputer, whatever. You shut your shit off like it's nothing. Okay, and so that is why chaos intelligence ingredients includes melanin. We're shielding against certain types of radiation, monitoring radiation, and we are protecting against certain satellites and electronics and certain bullshit that gets sent in the universe way. Okay, and so that's why chaos intelligence has that as an ingredient. So the reason why we have dark energy in there is that's our creative ability. That is where we create and change states and of different types of matter, from physical states to different states, gas states, liquid states. And so dark energy is this raw potentiator. That is why we have that as a part of the chaos intelligence. And so I think I explained. Let me make sure. I just want to make sure I explain at least all of the ingredients. So entropy becomes important. Obviously, that is the most random one. That is the most disordered state. And you have melanin and dark energy and consciousness. Pretty much. Okay, so you guys pretty much get the point. Okay. So yes, Ella, you asked, would slavery be an example of satanic ritual? Absolutely. That's honestly the way they have been able to get their hooks into the Black American lineage in particular, and obviously those of Caribbean and Africa. That was all done. This idea of, if we want to get into the occult realms of it, certain melanated people sold out their whole countries of bloodlines to with in the forms of pacts, um, to usher in a certain dynamic on this planet. And so that required certain tribes and whole ass bloodlines going into slavery for them to do that. I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying that that's what they did. And they made pacts with interdimensional beings. They set up a system in which those bloodline families, the white bloodline families, would take the hit, as well as white people would take the hit. But this system is still ran by Black nobility behind the scenes. And they are in cahoots with Satan. They have made pacts with Satan to, so the requirement was to sell out the bloodlines and the souls of those tribes, of those via slavery. Now we know the Moors, the Black European Moors, they had a lot to do with it, as well as the Islamic Moors. They had a lot to do with the overthrow of the Queen Mothership, as well as the enslavement of many of the African bloodlines, West Africa, as well as the indigenous bloodlines in America, and obviously the Caribbean. There was a group of melanated. They don't want to ever admit this, and that's why that's another reason why they can't stand me. Whew. Because they know I be telling the truth, and they know they like, why are you out here telling all the business? Because it's not supposed to be known. I talk about it in this book about how it all happened. Right here. Nike Queen Mothership reinstatement. Now I talked about how this Queen Mothership was overthrown, how the bloodlines was like, it's real stuff. And they try to shadow ban a lot of this material. That was they first. It was once they realized, okay, the death is not working. We can't really kill her. We can't try to play the drugs and alcohol thing on her. We can't do the crazy thing on her. This girl is an absolute genius. So the next step is just complete ignore and bury and shadow ban. Now these are all my books down here, by the way. But I talked about this stuff. There's a Queen Mothership Part 1, there's Queen Mothership, and I talked about it. Where's the other one? For the Queen Mothership Part 3, that's a banger. That gives you all the esoteric knowledge of all this stuff. They've been trying to bury me out of jealousy, but also out of fear, because they don't want humanity enlightened. They don't want humanity to know this crucial information. Now, there's obviously, you don't have to become enlightened from my information. I'm just but one person. There's so many other ways, but they don't want, for whatever reason, it's they see this stuff as incredible. They want to study it and take it for themselves. Because I do talk about pre-Adamic civilizations, about the Dragon Riders, Dakota, Tahuti, the Order of Kali. This stuff is not released on planet Earth. It's just now being released on planet Earth in 2024. The language of the gods, in the age of divine feminine. I talk about all this stuff here. When I was talking about This is really what they want to understand. This is really what they want the key to. The Nocti philosophy. That right there, this book. I told y'all what happened when I published the book. When I published this book, how it looked, how they sent it to me. They took my manuscript in its raw form and inserted random documents in this book as a when you first publish a book, you get you order a proof copy, right? I ordered a proof. They sent it to me, and they let me know, and I have the pictures to prove this, and I have the book still of the original proof, and they begged me to send it back to them, and I wouldn't send it back. I said, no, I need proof of this shit. This was in 2020. This was in 2020. I published this book in 2020. They sent me a book with random pages about the CIA and the FBI in my fucking book. They literally added pages in and then apologized and said, oh, we don't know how it got in there. What the fuck you mean you don't know how it got in there? That's really random. That's really, really random. And I didn't pay attention to it. I just at 2020, I knew something was up because I just didn't know the severity of what I was doing. To me, this is a spiritual book, teaching of spiritual philosophy that's never been released before to this planet. And so I guess from their perspective, they was like, oh, we letting you know that we on to your ass. We gonna publish it, but we watching you. That was the message I took from that, because I said, why would y'all put this shit in my book? And they apologized. We never did it. This never happened before. And the publishers at the publishing company, they was like, this never, ever happened before. Please send us back that proof so that we can destroy it. So that I said, nah, no. You're not getting that motherfucking proof. I took pictures of it and everything. I was like, nah. I was like, nah. So it's not like my story is just so far-fetched and so, oh, she's just making these things up. No, I'm not just making this shit up. I'm not. I have 18 books. This book right here has nothing but military science strategies for Africa and Black Americans. Why wouldn't you think? And granted, yeah, I knew they was gonna come after me, but I know they was gonna send my own motherfucking family to do it. That's all I'm saying. I know what's gonna do. It's gonna send my own community. That show woke me up. That shit hurt, man. I knew they was gonna, I'm not naive to that, but damn, your own people. Well, you gotta, I guess they did with Malcolm X and stuff, but it's your own motherfucking people. That's the part that's like, damn. So yeah, slavery was definitely satanic ritual abuse, sacrifice. The Black American lineage is a sacrifice for the ruling families to stay in power. That's all Black Americans have been to them, today's system. I'm not saying that's all we have to be. Hell no. You do not have to participate in this system. No, you do not. No, you do not. I don't care what they try to do to our bloodline or what they try to say we are, how they try to break us through trauma, the programming of our epigenetics through trauma, slave consciousness. That's why you have crab in a barrel mentality now. That's all ritualistic. That's all trauma monarch programming that Black Americans are under. They will never admit it. They'll try to play, oh, we fine, we fine. No, not the way y'all niggas act. Now go from the Africans. The Africans got it worse. It was all systematic mind control. Systematic mind control, trauma-induced mind control. You fragment somebody's subconscious mind and then you reprogram them. Then you brainwash them. It's just easy. This is intergalactic mentalism. This is a perversion of the teachings of the Order of Kali. We don't approve of what happened down here. We don't approve of it. We gave y'all keys to get out of it. The Nocti philosophy teaches y'all that. We just early. It's just so early. I broke it down how it all happened here. I broke it down. Gave you plenty. Nocti self-redox for the Black woman. Gave Black women some information for spiritual modalities, physical modalities, herbs for medicine and metaphysics. I gave out my heart to humanity to help them. And all they can do was try to kill me. The law of gender, promoting harmonious relationships. Promoting harmonious relationships for Black American men, Black American man, and Black American woman, as well as Africans and Caribbeans and all of humanity. Anybody of any race can benefit from the Law of Gender book. It's just written from the mind of a Black American woman. So obviously it's going to have different cultural references, but you see Shiva and Shakti on the damn cover. So obviously you could tell it's a cultural infusions of multiple intersectionalities that any group can benefit from. Herbs for medicine and metaphysics. There's like over 175 herbs in this book. But all my people could do was just try to bury me and kill me. That shit hurts. Alchemy Reservoir of Black Americans, the collective unconscious genealogy and preserving ethnicity. Helping Black Americans. Once again. Tantra for the human soul. Exploring sexuality for bliss and enlightenment. Wanting couples to experience bliss. Wanting people to think. Queen Mothership Enterprise Architecture Guide to Building Black America. But all these niggas could do was try to kill me. And line me up with, and help the government line me up so that they can have a sacrifice, so that they could ride off of my energy and publishing rights and intellectual property and royalties. And God said, hell no. Nah. Hell motherfucking no. Nah. Kali Ma, oh man, oh good God, you almost sent that lady down. Kali Ma almost had a damn heart attack finding out what the damn happening to me down here. Oh, I ain't never seen rage like that. Whoo! And Ogun, whoo! Rage. They went to war, man. That was like, they went to war. And I'm just, you know, in human flesh, I'm Jenny, so I'm just kind of looking like, what the hell going on? You know, you kind of, it stuff be over your head. And she had to show me. She had to force me to see it. She had to force me to see it. Like, I couldn't see it. I just wouldn't, I couldn't see it. I was too much in the days, too much into, I was watching fucking Zeus Network and getting my drink on. I ain't even gonna hold you. Yeah, I write. You can see by the level of writing that I do, you could tell like my mind is very deep. I'm not even gonna hold you. But I do when I in my spare time. Oh, I like to watch a good movie. I'll be watching Ratchet. I listen to music, you know. And so I was distracted. Like if you're writing some hardcore shit, like some of the stuff that I write, you be looking after that release of energy, you look for something that's kind of going to mellow you out. So I was watching, and I remember I had got a phone call from one of them black gatekeepers, and he said, "Do you know what fucking time we in the spiritual?" Like he was kind of looking like we in a spiritual warfare, girl. And you're sitting there talking about you watching Zeus Network. Because I watched your YouTube video and you talking about you watching you watching Zeus, and I was watching something way so ratchet. I kind of embarrassed even saying I was watching it. And I said, you know, and I didn't know. Mind you, I'm seeing her like a deer in headlights. I'm like, I'm chilling, eating, get my drink on. I'm like, what the fuck going on? And at that time, I wasn't drinking. I have to say, I wasn't drinking, but I had stopped. But I'm telling you, for a minute, you know, she had to force me to see this shit of what they was trying to do to me. I couldn't see it in that reparation space. I couldn't see it. I literally like them people in the reparation space. A lot of them are Eastern Stars and Masons. I don't care what I can pinpoint them. I haven't blasted people, but I can. A lot of them are CIA operatives. Some of them are government operatives for good and for bad. That's another thing. Not all government operatives are out to sell, you know, but a lot of them are. And so that's another thing. So some of them that's there to monitor, they were monitoring what was going on because they do know that it's a play. Some of them do know it's a play, and some of them do know what they were trying to do to me. And so it's deep. It's deep shit, man. It's deep. And I haven't told my story. I never told my story. I've given pieces and bits and pieces. And what I am thinking about releasing that damn folder publicly with all the files and all of the evidence and all of the recordings and everything. Either that, I'm gonna send it to the Department of Justice, or it is going to get released to the public, and so anybody can get access to it. Every text message, all that shit. Because I'm tired. I told y'all motherfuckers to leave me alone. I don't want no noise campaigns. All this. We all know how the noise campaigns work when they put you in a targeted harassment campaign program with the contract for hire or intelligence, you know, with the government stuff. We all know how they do that. If you don't, go research it. Research noise campaign, targeted harassment, and type in Reddit or Kira. I'm not dealing with that shit. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not. As soon as it happens, y'all only care about profit anyways. You told me on if that's that y'all told me that's what y'all care about. And so if that's all the fuck you care about, then there's ways around that. Because every time something has happened to me, we've been busting back. And y'all know we've been busting back. Every time. Every time. I didn't ask for this shit. I didn't ask to be put on a Monarch program. I didn't ask for my peoples to be in the military and into secret societies and occult societies. I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask to be born into the bloodline that I'm born into. And it's not my fault that even my own family doesn't even realize how powerful the bloodline is, because they've been so beat down by the satanic system that they took an oath to. I'm not taking an oath to that system. I'm not. Why would and this go for all Black Americans, especially the Black Americans in that reparation space, because they coming for y'all asses, for y'all souls. That's why the freedmen up there talking about Twitter spaces in the recorded space, talking about you got a right to enter a contract. Why the fuck is y'all talking about that in that space? I'm letting y'all know. Y'all can ignore me and play dumb and act either you know what's up, or if you know what's up, whew, you getting a shitty ass deal, boy. You signing up for that? Oh, that's a shitty deal. Oh, that's a shitty deal. I'm just letting you Black Americans know. Most of you are from the bloodlines of the people that they know. I was trying to warn y'all about that in August 22 when I said Tribe of Judah. They know who we are. So they have targeted us. They want us to work. They know it's a change of Vanguard, and they want us to sell our star inertia pretty much. They want us to take an oath to their system. I'll keep it human. I'll keep it so where you can understand me. They want us to take an oath to their system so that they can control our power and control our message and control what we do. That's it in a nutshell. And they know that you pretty much don't know who the fuck you are. You haven't awakened to anything. You don't know how to activate your powers. But they know that you're more powerful than them. And they know that you're the rightful heir to the system to run it. They know that you're the rightful heir. But if you get in power through your own merits and not be in bed with their system and not sign over your star inertia through a contract, then they can't control you. Then what happens when you do wake up? You will wake up. And if you don't wake up in this lifetime, then maybe your kid or your grandchild will. It's destined. It's prophecy. It's literally prophecy. And so that's why they send Black gatekeepers all in that space after us. Random ass niggas in the hood. They want us all, signing contracts or all in our face and shit. People from the Boule and people from Eastern Stars and people from high power government operatives and high society all in our fucking face. And we looking like, what the hell going on? That's why. Because they already been pinpointed who's the heir and who's the proper heir, who's supposed to be running shit. And because we are free still, they looking for a way to get us under their system and under their thumb, so that they can control us. Y'all not controlling my power. Nope. No way. Nope. And we can't. Chosen ones, you go and sell your star inertia if you want. Your ass will be taken off this motherfucking planet. And that's from the chaos intelligence realm. That's from the primordial mother. Black Americans ain't got no business being involved in that shit. And if you did already do it, and if you're already in it, then that's your fate. Then redeem yourself. That's all I can say. Redeem yourself. But for those of us that's not in that, or for those of you that try to turn a blind eye and you know somebody was going right into that beast system, shame on you. If you're not in it, stay free. Stay free. Stop helping. Don't when they come to you and ask you to help somebody line them up and on, don't go for it. Don't fall for it. It's a lot of people that I've seen in that space fall for the okie doke. Fall for the okie doke. But you found the right one. You found the right one. You've been doing this shit for 2,000 years over people's heads, using very powerful, sacred, ancient technology and knowledge that you don't have no business having in your possession. Sumerian, Babylonian, Enochian, Egyptian, African, indigenous, angelic, occult sciences, Jew occult sciences, Kabbalah, alchemy, all types of stuff that y'all been using and perverting in the whole sciences of the chaos intelligence realm with the dark matter, with the divine feminine. Y'all totally screwed that one up. And so if a group of ancient primordial beings that are now here and descendant are here to correct that, you have to respect that. I don't care what they done told you or what kind of campaign or smear campaign they done ran about me or whatever. Nah. I don't believe in wickedness. I ain't into that. I'm not a deceiver. I don't have to deceive motherfuckers. I don't want nothing from nobody. I asked for help. I pleaded my case. I asked my people for help. I asked my people for my support. For their support, they didn't support. I asked that nigga Tariq for help. I've asked people, and all my community thought to do was try to bury my legacy and bury me and my genius and my capacity to actually help my community and my desire to actually help my community. All they could think of to do was either out of jealousy or because they was about to get a bag or because the government told them to, was to kill me. That was the only thing they could think to do. I asked my people for their help. Friends and family, niggas in the black community. And so, yeah, y'all woke y'all definitely awakened my ass. They talk about the Great Awakening. Oh, that was the biggest Great Awakening for me. That was major. I don't get no major than that. Than being around some galactic, interdimensional Black Americans and a whole adventure with the government targeting reparationist activists who happen to be a clairvoyant and scholar. That's like a whole movie. It's like that's who's going through quantum entanglement sessions with the elements of dark matter of the chaos intelligence. I mean, this shit does write itself. It's like, what in the world? It's like, okay, you either have a fucking imagination or you might be on to something. Which one is it? That's one hell of a story. I can't wait till that information request gets released on me. I can't wait. Oh, this stuff is so funny. Nonetheless, I do want to talk to the beings that I said I was going to talk to in a secret language. It is different than speaking in tongues. You won't be able to translate it if you are not of the bloodline or if you are not of the GIA or the Atlantean dimension. You won't be able to translate it. It's just I'm speaking to a very specific group of entities on this planet. And it's for a reason. You will be able to translate this message. You will be able to get it. You will be able to understand it. And you bet not take it off YouTube. You bet not take it off YouTube. You bet not try to erase it. You bet not. It better stay exactly intact. For the humans, just think of it as someone speaking in tongues at church. It's the best way I can think. I'm just speaking in tongues. That's all you got to know. Okay. Rankatia shala kisiti pa hatara kanto kosati ala she katasa. Banka haya tiri kindia la kantia kala. Hala shile kira sai tika pa hanta kasha hankata kasha. Hantikisiti ro kosa. Hambaka shela hiti. Bonkotoro kontakala haya tikisi. Hotoro so kota heshela hi. Hala hantiri kata saba. Banka sikiti roko shanta kataya kalaki roko bao hanta halashe. Banka sato roko sata haya tiki kiti 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 kiti. Banka tira honto roko salati benketira hata hala shela kasa. Honto roko siti kishe besiantiaka. Hanti kishe leke reketianta. Hontoroko satia kashala kasia balantira kinti kisi kiti kiroko so hanta hashela tiro bahati anti kisiba toro konti kiti banka hinteroko sa. Okay, I got my message out, translate it, and this is real stuff. I don't want, like I said, end it now. End it now. I don't want to hear no. I don't want to. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I told you. Kantirikin sin kintiganti antian like a shelan king kitikitika bahasa. Bantroko kantikitika batianan kantira kasha. Hante kasala haya tikishi kitikira katia ba bankalaki kitira kalaki sitika shalaka bankiti kitira konsoko tiki shalahiti ha bansetera hatikoshoti ha. Yeah, so that's just speaking in tongues. This is a spiritual practice, a spiritual meditation. Speaking in code, because y'all like to do the plausible deniability. So I'll play that game too. Plausible deniability. Um, yeah. We all know about speaking in tongues through the Black church. It is something that we've always done. Uh, in Pentecostal in particular. It's a book of Acts. Talks about the Holy Spirit comes down upon you, you speak in tongues. That's what the humans need to know. That's all they need to know for now. So, I'll talk to you guys later. I'm wishing you the best, everybody. Whoever replay this playback. I'm wishing you the best. Wishing you love, light, success, peace, abundance, prosperity, enlightenment, and blessings. And all I had asked was just like that song with Kanye West and his baby girl Northwest. And she in the song, she's saying, "Just bless me." That's how I feel. Just bless me. Why y'all gotta curse me? Why y'all trying to kill me? Just bless me. That's all I. It's all I have asked. That's all I have asked. Just bless me. Why it gotta be? That she came up with the song called Miss. What's it called? It's not called Miss Westy. She came up. The baby girl came up with the song Talking. Yeah, just talking. And she's like, just bless me. That's how I feel. That's how the child inside of me feel. I gotta resort to going to the. I gotta resort to really just to protect myself. It's not. It's never that deep. It's never. I should never feel threatened by. I don't get it. I would never be that threatened by anybody. I would be ashamed to admit it. Damn shame. Wish y'all the best. Talk to y'all later. Bye.